start. Looks like you're going far. Hey look, it's Wonder Guy. Gonna make your plans and fly. Now what's up, Wonder Girl? You're gonna change the world. So everything's not perfect. Don't matter 'cause you rework it. Nothing's holding you. Never stopping, never stopping, never stopping now.
Hey guys, Yoda here, and today I'm going to talk about my experience with Halo Wars 2 and my amazing journey to the top of the leaderboard. But first, let us take a look back at the greatest game trailer ever developed.
No surprises, a settled score. I know the darkness from inside, reckless rage and poison. I know the weakness, I know the pain, I know the fear we do not name, and the one who comes to find me when my time is through. I know you, yeah, I know you.
Honestly, that is the greatest trailer I've ever seen. I know a lot of people would agree with me on that. The amount of work and time that got put into that trailer must have been immense. Kudos to the guy that made that. Seriously, you made the most badass trailer I have ever seen. Thank you so much for that eye candy. Now, many of you may know me as that crazy guy on Twitch drinking a bunch of Pepsi, you know, getting real angry at my TV or screaming or getting real excited or, you know, too excited. That's just the way that I am, or some of you may not know me at all. But for those that do, I'm really sorry, or maybe enjoy the way I act. I don't know. You can leave your comment below on what you think about that. Basically what I'm always trying to do is, you know, entertain my viewers in whatever way that I can. And you guys are always my main focus in everything that I do. No game would be as fun for me without the people that watch, the people that I play with. I mean, that's what gaming's really about for me. Playing with people, talking to people, and just getting a really good, you know, community experience that, you know, everybody really wants in a game like this. If there was no community, there would be no Halo Wars 2, I don't think. If there wasn't a demand, there wasn't a cry out for it, I really don't think we would have it today. So without you guys, you know, the people of Halo Wars 2 and Halo Wars 1, there wouldn't be a Halo Wars 2. So I'm really excited I'm going to be a part of this community. Hopefully I'm going to try to, you know, make videos all the time on this game. We'll see where it takes us. Anyway, so let's just jump right into it. Blitz mode. That's what this beta was about. That's what everybody's talking about right now. How was it? What'd you think of it? Well, I'm going to give my 2 cents on it, and you guys can agree, disagree. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, so anyway, let's start off with, like, the basics of it. Alright, so it's a card game mixed with an RTS. Whether you think that's a good idea or not, at first, when I heard about this, I just assumed that it wasn't going to be any good. I mean, cards mixed with an RTS, who could think that would be any good? Well, it came out, and I have to say that I actually really enjoyed it. I'm a diehard RTS console fan. People that know me know that. I've been playing RTSs on console since Nintendo 64 when I played Command & Conquer on there. So I'm a diehard true RTS with a controller fan. I play on PC, but I'm more addicted to having the controller in my hand and being able to relax with it, but still have all the fun of playing an RTS. Back on track here, cards in an RTS didn't seem like a good idea to me, but it came out. Whoever developed it did a fantastic job because it all fell together perfectly in the short amount of time that they had to design a completely new and revolutionary way to play an RTS. I gotta say that they did a phenomenal job. They had an idea, they went after it, they got it, they did a perfect job on it. A little bit of balancing here and there, which we're gonna do later, and I think it'll be a very competitive game mode. Maybe not, obviously not as competitive as your normal modes such as Deathmatch, but for being as new as it is, they did a great job. I mean, there's no one that can say they didn't do a good job with it. Whether you liked it or not, from an outside standpoint, you can't say that what they did wasn't an accomplishment. I mean, they took something completely new and they made it work on the first try. That's amazing. And furthermore, they didn't just make it work, they made it work really well. So I gotta say to the team, Blitz mode, congratulations. It was definitely a hit. When you guys announced it, people thought it was gonna be a big, pay-to-play win type thing, but it wasn't. And I don't think it is now. A few adjustments and it'd be perfect. I mean, you guys you have it like 90%. So, really excited. I'll definitely be playing Blitz in the main game. I'll probably be sticking to whatever game mode you guys deem as your main core game mode. But I'll definitely be playing a little bit of Blitz even if it's not. So what is Blitz mode? Blitz mode is a game mode in RTS where you're going to be playing with cards, you get to make a deck, you base your deck around the leader that you're playing and your own play style. I played mostly as Anders in this beta, even though at the beginning I kind of played Shipmaster and Decimus. I kind of got my own thing going on with Anders later. I didn't want to, because when the game started, I started using Locust, and then everybody else started using Locust. I started using the teleport with the Suicide Grunt, and everybody else started doing that. So I wanted to try something else. So I decided, you know what, everyone else thinks that the USNC can't compete with the Spanish. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show them that they're wrong. Now, it wasn't easy. I got my ass kicked for the first, few games. Then I've got my own strategy going on. My main thing I started doing with Anders near the end, and it worked. I won 99.9% of my games with it, was I'd start with the drones, the android drones, the flying ones. And I would try to keep those the entire game. My biggest goal was not to lose those. I wouldn't build anymore unless I lost the main Defender Sentinel, because that is the most important one. What I would do is I would mix in probably 2 Nightingales, and then maybe a sniper or 2, depending on the infantry count of my opponent, and then the rest Cyclops. I would have all 3 Cyclops in my deck, the Veteran, the Shielded Cyclops, and the regular one. Those units are absolutely amazing. And there's one other card, we'll get into that later, that made that whole thing just work against Banished. Alright, so once I get that army up, and my opponent's sitting there with their big, fat, scary horde of Locust engineers, and, just that big, scary thing that we all saw in the beta, what you would do, what people would end up doing is they take their army and they just let their opponent kite them. And what that means is, like, when I would come at them with my, USNC army, they would just run away with their Locusts, and then my army would be able to catch them. What people didn't know is the Cyclops could actually keep up and catch up to the Locusts if you selected them individually from your army. So basically, you'd select all units, then you'd right trigger over to your Cyclops, and you'd select them individually to go ahead of your army and to go after this Locust. Because if you had them with your army speed was too slow. The other units in your army just weren't fast enough to keep up with the Cyclops, and they were slowing down your Cyclops, and the Cyclops were just being decimated by the Locust. Now, the secret card that just made this work was Advanced Optics. You slap that on an army at any point of Cyclops, and you send them at the Locust, there will be no more Locusts. There will be no more Marauders. They just shred through that army. I got a few videos, I'll probably be posting them soon, of me just shredding full pop armies. 9 Locusts, 8 Locusts, Engineers, everything. Some Marauders. It didn't matter. You get 6 or 7 Cyclops on, they're just running through on with Advanced Optics. They just melt everything. It's amazing. And I just started doing that. One of the other things you can do is, what I did, is I would take the Protector Sentinel, or Defender Sentinel, I forgot the name already, and you'd use its Y ability and stun the closest Locust to you. and you'd pick that one off, and then you'd go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and it's a really effective strategy. And to take the points, you'd use your aggressive sentinels, the other 3 you start with, the $30 ones, and you just hover over the other spots in a 1v1. And you could hold those points as you are chasing down their army. So they're constantly moving. They can never keep their stuff on one spot. And anytime there's an engagement, you're winning. So that's how I usually got down with it. Near the end of the beta, I was just decimating all the banished leaders and all the top players. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully people will see it from my point of view, and then once they see what I was able to do with the USNC, they'll understand that the Locusts actually weren't overpowered. People just didn't know how to deal with them. So obviously I think they do need a price raise, the Locusts, or maybe they make it so they can't shoot through the fog. I guess we can get into that now. Locusts. They were in a sense overpowered. They should not be able to shoot through the fog of war. I think that's a given. What they should be able to do, I think, is if they're already shooting a target, if that unit goes out of the fog of war, yeah, I think a Locust should still be locked onto it. That's okay. Locust should probably be a little bit more expensive. They maybe do a little bit less damage versus air. But in general, as USNC, Cyclops countered them. There's no really question about it. I've got undeniable proof. Cyclops absolutely countered the Locusts. The teleport and with the Suicide Grunts. Suicide Grunts did a tremendous amount of damage. My personal opinion on the Suicide Grunt, they should do half damage that they do now to air units, and they shouldn't do as much damage to the Scarab and Condor. I think that the teleport and also the Vortex ability, when you use those, your units should be, like if someone teleports your units, or if someone uses the Vortex on your units, they should be temporarily invulnerable to Suicide Grunts. That would fix the problem, because wild Suicide Grunts on their own aren't that powerful. Once the pathing's fixed, you'll just be able to dodge the Suicide Grunts all the time. So if they're actually not that powerful when you do hit, then no one's going to use a blast ability. The blast ability needs to be very powerful for it to be effective. The only way it was effective in the beta at the highest level was when they used the teleport or the vortex. So that's just my input on that. As a general rule here, the USNC. Yeah, I found a way to use them against Banished, but a lot of the units either weren't good enough, or on the flip side of that coin, they were just too expensive. The tanks, they did not do enough damage for the price that they cost. In a high-level game, you can maybe get 2 or 3 tanks out before the game's even over. That can't happen. That needs to be fixed. The lockdown tank, I love that unit. That unit is amazing. $150 though, I can't ever see myself using that unit because of how expensive it is. You can maybe get 1 or 2 before the game's over, and it dies to just about anything on the ground. A tank that costs $150, that's half the price of a Scarab. I mean, come on, that thing's got to be doing a lot of work. It can't be dying to weak units, and it can't be doing the low amount of damage that it does. Yes, I know it's got the fear ability or shock ability that makes the units around it weaker, but still, it needs to do a lot more for its price. In my opinion, the problem with the tanks, I think they need to be buffed a little bit in the damage and health department, but mostly their price needs to be cut a little bit. Or, as a counterpart to that, you need to have the banished units more expensive. Warthog's price needs to be dropped. They're just so expensive. Every single one of them was really expensive, and they didn't do enough damage. And they weren't even that fast. Like, I couldn't find a really good use for them, and it's really sad. They went from very useful in the first game to basically nothing in Blitz. You have to give them something in Blitz if you want to be useful, guys. If not, they're just not going to be a usable unit, and that's just sad to see. In a game like Blitz, you need to have every single unit have a role, I think. That's just my opinion. One of the things I did like was that once you got things to a certain level, that visually changed. One of the things I noticed was the glassing beam, or as people know it as the cleansing beam. When you got to level 3, it actually changed color. When I saw that, I was really amazed. So leveling things up actually does change them. I actually saw a noticeable damage buff as well from level 2 to level 3. I'm not sure if I was imagining that or what, but once that beam went purple, it seemed to just wreck everything. It could have been my imagination, I don't know, but it did seem to just wreck everything. If I were to make a quick summary on the game as a whole and Blitz mode, I would say this. Blitz mode is definitely going to be a top game mode for the actual game. I loved it. I guess some of the pros would be they're going to be quick games. They're going to be fun games. Every single game is going to be fun. I just can't wait for, a little bit of balance changes. It'll be perfect. Some of the cons, I think, some things that might be fixed. I think the timer should be extended maybe a few minutes, and the point system should be up to 250, possibly 300. Leave that to the developers on what they think. I definitely don't think it should stay at 200, though. You just can't, diversify your strategies enough. I think there's one more level of gameplay available. And what I mean is there's that quick game type where you go for the win quickly. There's a secondary one where you kind of get the energy and try to hold off and make the game go a bit longer. And I feel like I almost broke into it a few times that there's just one more level of gameplay there that you could get into with, maybe tanks, specific, strategies you could be doing. But I just need a little bit more time. And when it comes down to it in a high-level game, it's not time that you're looking for. It's the point count for the captures. So I really think they'd be great if it popped up to maybe 250, 300. You'd see a lot better games. They wouldn't last that much longer. And you would just see extreme high-level gameplay out of people if you could just get that little bit more capture point time in there. So that's my take on that. Take what you will. Comment below on what you guys think. And thank you guys so much for watching my streams and, going along on that journey with me and keeping me awake. You guys are the reason I do this and will continue to do this. Thank you guys once again so much.